Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this series we're going to be going over the elements in astrology, and in this video we're going to be focusing on the water signs, okay, the water element and the water signs of astrology, which is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. But before we get into that, you know I have to remind you, if you enjoy my readings, you certainly can book a reading with me. All you have to do is email me at samastroreadings@gmail.com. That's samastroreadings@gmail.com. I do birth natal charts as well as tarot, and all you gotta do is email me and we can go forward with that, okay? So, getting back into the water signs of astrology, okay? And before we get into the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, first, we have to understand the water element, okay? What water is, how it's represented in astrology. So, when it comes to water, okay, one thing you have to understand is water soaks, it absorbs, okay? That's why you get wet, it soaks into your shirt, okay? Water dissolves into a lot of substances it comes across, okay? So water is an absorber. Even with something as solid as wood, eventually the water gets in. It gets in. It takes time. I mean, even mold. So water is soaking. It's wet, which is all absorbing energy. This is why when we talk about water energy, we're talking about intuition, okay? Being in tune with someone, okay? The same way you see water soaks into everything, it absorbs everything, it eventually gets in everything. It's wet, it's soaky. This is the same energy as being in tune with someone. Water energy, water signs, water element deals with intuition, okay? The way we're able to be in tune with someone, absorb somebody else's energy. Okay, I always say this about water signs. They are very psychic, very intuitive. Okay, they can feel other people's energy. They can absorb into other people's energy. This is the absorbing energy of water. So anytime you're dealing with the water element, you're dealing with intuition. You're dealing with being able to soak in and absorb other people's energy. Okay, people intertwining energy intertwining. Okay, very important because, again, one of the main characteristics of water is intuition, and that's what you're going to see a lot, okay, with water signs, is that they're very intuitive, okay, very much. You don't got to tell them anything. They can already vibe and feel what you're feeling. This is the energy of water. It's that soaking energy, okay? It's that energy of attachment, okay? It's that energy of absorbing someone's energy. Okay, we talked about fire. Fire burns people's energy, burns other energies. It dominates. Water, it soaks in, it absorbs, it becomes, it intertwines with other energies. So again, that's that intuition, that being able to feel other people's energies, feel other people's emotions. Very, very important thing with water, okay? Because water operates very much the opposite of fire, and I'll be making lots of comparisons, but water is receptive, okay, absorbing. Also with water, water is the ultimate example of liquid, okay? Liquid is like, water is the basis of liquid, and liquid is fluid, very, very fluid, okay? It's not choppy, okay? It's not hard, it's not angled, it's very fluid. Water is fluid. It just drains, it drips, okay? Everything flows. Water, the waves, it's very, very fluid. It is the energy of fluidity, okay? So again, with water signs, it's very much fluid, very much going with the flow, okay? Going with the flow, going with the vibe, all right? That fluidity shows in their rhythm, absorbing energy and going with the vibe. Also with water, the temperature of water tends to be cool, okay? Water is not like fire where it's hot. Water normally tends to be on a very cool level, okay? So again, water signs are colder, okay? They're more to themselves, okay? They're not just open and embracive and out there. They're more on that chill energy, okay? They vibe out. They seek people's energy first before they kind of just express themselves. So a lot of times with water signs, with that cool, that chill energy that water is, This represents a lot of the water signs being, again, more chill, more relaxed, not so open, more conservative, more mysterious, more secret, okay? It's that chill, cooling vibe energy, okay? They have to work their way up to heat, okay? Naturally, again, they're very chill. So very big characteristics when it comes to water, and we see how that opposes fire. Also with water takes in so many different forms, okay? This is the flexibility with water. Water takes in the form of snow, of hail, okay, ice, okay? There are so many different forms that water takes, okay? This represents, again, the flexibility of water, because even though water is very chill, like I said, the temperature usually is cool, it can heat up. We can have boiling water, okay? We can have many different bodies of water. We can have a little river, a little stream, or we can have a waterfall, or we can have a whole tidal wave or a tsunami. So water takes on so many different forms. Water is the most flexible element. So even though, again, it's chill, it's cool, water can become angry, water can become active, okay? Water can become stiff like ice. You know, water is the most flexible element, and that represents the flexibility of water signs. You're going to see water signs are very emotional. So yes, they're chill at first, but they can express many different expressions, many different emotions, because they're flexible. It's water. It represents emotion. So emotions can take on so many different forms, and you see that reflected in water again. Snow, hail, sleet, rain, ice, okay? And then the many different bodies of waters, you know, big seas, big oceans, little rivers, a pond, a stream. All of these things are different forms of water, and how flexible water is. Water takes on different forms, and this is, again, the energy of water signs. They're very flexible, okay? And emotions are very flexible. They turn into many different things. So don't underestimate water signs, because they can show you a whole different side of them because of their flexibility. This is water energy, so very important to understand. Also, water is purifying, okay? A lot of times when we're cleaning, we need water. Water washes things away. It's purifying. It's cleansing. So, you know, with water signs are healers, okay? And the reason why they can heal and they can clean is because they absorb energy, okay? They absorb energy, they purify energy, they can wash away, you know, things. They can get things wet and have them kind of soak off. You know, if you got a stain, you add some water onto it, and you start rubbing it off, you can finally kind of separate that stain, because you're soaking it up, you're washing it away, you know. So water is very cleansing, it's washing, it's healing, and this represents water signs and their healing energy. Water signs can take on people's energies, okay? So there's a powerful function in water in the sense of cleansing, okay? And that cleansing on a bigger level represents healing, okay? When we talk about healing, we're talking about your emotions, okay? The deeper things, and that is water energy. Water is the energy that can reach those deep-seated emotions, deep-seated wounds, okay? A lot of even our physical sicknesses stem from emotions, which is water, stems from how we feel. So the ultimate healing is healing how you feel, okay? The ultimate healing is solving the negative emotions that we're feeling. That's how we get to the root of a lot of our problems and feeling bad and sicknesses and stuff like that. So water is healing, it's purifying, okay? And it's able to absorb energy and wash the negative energies away. It can purify things. So very important, because water signs are healers. So water represents the vibes, the waves, the current in a big way. So you think about the ocean and the waves and the current, and how, you know, it represents the direction of how everything's going. It doesn't matter how you're swimming, the current's gonna take you where it takes you. So that's how powerful water is, okay? This is why, you know, tsunamis are incredibly powerful, because of the water, okay? Water is a strong energy, and water on a big level represents the vibe of the world, the energy of the world. So if the current changes, a lot of things drastically change. If the water decides to change its current, a lot of the temperatures, the weather, everything of the world changes. This is how impactful water is, and this is how much a part water is of everything. Most of the world is water. Most of our bodies is water. This is how important water is to life and to the functioning of life. If the current changes in water, if something drastic happens, it's going to change the temperatures of our whole world, the weather. Okay, if the current decides to get aggressive, it can damage so many parts of our world, like damage the whole world. Water is powerful, and it represents the vibe of the world, the current in which we're going in. So water is very spiritual. This is why water is connected to music, to sound waves. You think about the waves, the current, that's all music and sound. And that's why water signs are very connected to music and sound. Because it deals with intuition, it deals with the vibe, okay? Think about music, how you're in a vibe, you're grooving like a wave to the vibe. This is very much water energy. So water energy is very powerful. It represents the vibe of our world, how we're all vibing as a collective, the sea, the waters, and the water can destroy the whole world. So it's very powerful, very impactful, and it represents the current of life, okay, the vibe of our lives. So water signs are very intuitive, very well connected. They understand the world. This is why psychic abilities can be brought up through water signs, because again, it's that current. They're connected not only to other people, but to the whole collective, the whole world. You got to think of the whole ocean. Okay, and water is the majority of the world, so it's such an important source. So water is life. It represents the heartbeat, the vibe of the world, the whole collective. And this is again why people can be very psychic with water energy, because they're tapping into the collective consciousness, being able to predict events, or maybe having, like, for example, a dream about an event happening in the world and it happens. That psychic ability is again you being in tune with the current, with the world, the world's vibration. And when you're in tune with the world's vibration, you understand what's going to happen next, because you're on that wave, you're on that vibe. It's a rhythm. Music, it's like a rhythm. So once you get on the rhythm, you can predict what's going on. You can understand, you can feel what's coming, because you're on the wave. Okay, it's like a wave. So very deep. Water energy is very deep. It's not just emotions, but it's intuition, it's psychic ability, it's creation, it's the sound waves, it's the current, it's the vibe of the world. It's being able to tap into the emotional subconscious of the collective. Okay, this is what creates psychic ability. It's that intuition on a big level, on a collective level. So you can read for the whole world. So yes, that is water, okay? Definitely had to let you guys understand how complex and how important and how strong water is. And now, since we understand the idea of the water element and water energy, let's get into the signs, starting with Cancer, okay? So with Cancer, Cancer is going to represent initiative water, okay? This is cardinal water. This is water that's being initiated. Okay, so this is like condensation. This is like water going into movement. This is water becoming alive, okay, which happens through condensation. Okay, this is rain, okay? Everything's dry and then all of a sudden water comes out. This is Cancer energy. Cancer is like rain. Cancer energy represents that initiation of your emotions. This is why Cancers can be very dramatic, very emotional, because they express it, they bring it out to life. They will cry, okay? They will be angry. They will express these emotions, these deep-seated emotions that they feel, okay? It starts lower and then comes. Think of condensation. It slowly but surely starts happening. So Cancers represent the initiation of your emotions, okay? Releasing them, expressing them, feeling them, being conscious of them. Cancer is the first people to be like, something's wrong, something's off here. I don't feel good. How are you feeling? And this initiation of emotion and energy is the consciousness of it. It's the beginning of water energy. So Cancer represents the beginning of water signs, the initiation, the beginning of it. This connects to birth, okay? Birth, yes, the initiation of emotion, creation, okay? Water is not just the energy that represents emotion, but it's the energy that represents creation, giving life, okay, to something. You know, when a baby first comes out, it comes out crying, you know, it's finally out the womb. You know, this is bringing energy, initiation to life, to emotions, bringing your emotions out into life. Okay, this is why Cancer represents the womb, the birth, nurture. Okay, nurturing the emotions. Cancers are the ones that are going to ask you, how are you doing? How are you feeling? They're going to address your emotions. What? Because they're initiators of emotions. Not only do they express them, do they create and give birth and give life to them, but they also acknowledge emotions in other people. Okay, and this is why they're healers. Okay, because they can sense other people's energies, they can sense other people's feelings, and they know how to nurture them. Okay, you got to think of water. Water is nurturing. Think of how water, think about how you water the plants, and it helps the plants to grow. It helps the plants to, it gives birth to plants, gives life to plants. Okay, water gives life. Okay, this is again that Cancer energy bringing about. You won't have plants unless you water it, so it can actually sprout and come out. This is the nurturing. Okay, this is very much like giving birth. All of the thing is happening in the womb, right? All that liquid, all of that forming the baby, it's all the nurture, and then it comes out just like a plant. You water the plant, all that watering that's going on is in the womb. It's nurturing, it's creating life. And this is creating life because we're talking about Cancer energy, the initiation of water. This is existence. This is the initiation of energies. This is energy being brought to life. So again, this represents birth, the womb, nurture, mothering. All of this stuff is Cancer. Womb, nurture, mothering, birth, family, love, all of this stuff. Cancer energy. So Cancer energy is very important. It represents life. It represents nurturing. It represents emotional awareness, emotional expression. Okay, this is why, again, when the babies first come out, they start crying. It's a representation of that Cancer energy, that initiation of emotions, bringing your emotions to life. Water energy. When you cry, water comes out. This is, again, connected to that Cancerian water energy. So Cancers bring life. They nurture and bring life. They're the initiation of it. And you see that in water. This is why water is initiating, because it brings life. The same way you water a plant. You water life. You nurture life. So very important with Cancer energy. It's the initiation of emotions, and this is the initiation of life. This is how you nurture it. Okay, so like we talked about how in the fire episode about the fire signs, how fire brings light. It brings life in the sense of bringing light. Well, water brings life in the sense of nurturing that energy. Okay, so the sun brings that plant out with its rays, and it brings out the light and the colors of the plants, but it's that water that nurtures it. Okay, that's all what's happening during the womb. Okay, the 9 months in the womb, that's all that nurturing, that's all the watering going into the seed. That's how we bring about life. So Cancer is an initiation of life. Very deep and very important when it comes with Cancer energy. Okay, and this is why they represent motherhood, family, emotional nurture, nursing, caring, birth, the womb, womanhood, all that. Now we get into Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio is fixed water. Okay, this is water that is fixated. So when you think of Scorpio, you can think of ice. Okay, ice cold. This is why Scorpio is a very dark energy. Okay, Scorpio represents dark energy, deep-seated emotions, even depression. Scorpio could be very dark, very serious, very intense. But this is that fixated water, okay? Think about ice, how cold ice is, how cold and chilling ice can be. Okay, it's fixated. It can be very hard, very uncomfortable, very frozen. Okay, stiff. Okay, that's that Scorpio energy. Scorpio can be very cold. Okay, it's a very deep sign. Okay, they keep their emotions very deep. Okay, they don't let people know too much. Very mysterious. It's that very fixated emotions. Okay, this is not emotions that just run and go and expressive like Cancer. Okay, this is emotions that you kind of stay within yourself. You keep them covered. There's a certain energy of protection when you talk about Scorpio energy. This is why they represent ice to me, because they're hard. Okay, this is water that's hardcore. Scorpios are very much about their boundaries. They protect their emotions. They're very defensive. Okay, they're very deep. They're protective. Okay, they don't want everyone knowing their business. This is that ice cold energy. They're not easily expressive like the Cancer energy. Not just going to express and show out all their emotions. They're very cold, very calculating. Okay, very mysterious, very secretive. Okay, so it's not easy to penetrate a Scorpio. It's not easy to get to them. Okay, to get access to their deep emotions. Okay, again, that cold ice energy. All right, so definitely be careful of that. And then on top of that, Scorpios can be very powerful, can be very offensive. Okay, so when you look at ice is solid. Okay, it can swipe you, it can cut you. Okay, it's slippery, not hard to touch. So Scorpios are very dominant and powerful in that way. Okay, this is the water sign that really can take action, can really defend itself, and can really take power over other people. So in that ice cold is very Scorpio. Okay, this is why there can be very cold. Also, with fixated water represents the deep waters. Okay, everything on the top is waving and shaking and moving, but as you get deeper into the sea, it gets more still and more dark. Okay, this is Scorpio energy. Scorpio is going to represent the deep, dark seas. Okay, less of the movement. Okay, this is when the sea gets darker. I mean, as you get to the deep sea, it gets darker and darker and more still and more quiet. It's very Scorpio. You don't know what type of big fish or big sea animal creature is going to come get you. Okay, and these deep seas represent the aggressiveness and the intensity of Scorpio. That's why you got the sharks, and all these crazy, like sneaky, scary, big fish that are in the sea, in the deep sea. This is that Scorpio energy. Scorpio energy is very powerful. It's very aggressive. It's about devouring someone else. In a certain sense, taking your power. So you're going to see that association with the deep sea and the actual fish that occupy that area of the deep sea. Okay, the big sharks. Okay, that's Scorpio energy. Very sneaky, very powerful, very big. And again, this is happening in the deep sea, the darkness of the sea, the depth of the sea, depth, deepness, all that represents Scorpio energy. So Scorpio energy is also fixated. So this is like people who are fixated in their emotions, people who can keep a grudge for a long time because they remember, they're in their emotions, they stay in them. Okay, this is that type of water energy, and this is why Scorpios are the way that they are. So you take into that consideration, Scorpio represents the deep waters, the aggressive waters, the powerful waters. Okay, the deep-seated emotions and the cold and iciness of water. Okay, so it gets very serious once you get into Scorpio. Okay, this is water. This is like angry water. This is like cold water. This is like the type of water you don't want to mess with. you know, but it also, again, it's just also representation of how deep and powerful water can be. Okay, Scorpio is a representation of that power in water. Okay, not to be played with. Okay, water can nurture you. It can bring life like cancer, and be dramatic too, but it could be deep, it could be suffocating. Okay, think about drowning in water, very Scorpio. It could be suffocating, it could be unbearable, it could be power over you. Think about the sharks that occupy the deep seas. I mean, you won't be able to survive. It's consuming, and that's what Scorpio is. It consumes, it's overbearing. Think of the ice. Think how strong ice is, how it freezes, it's frozen. So this is the intensity of water and the depth of water, and that's what Scorpio represents. And even the darkness. And then you have Pisces, okay? And Pisces is mutable water. Pisces represents all water, how water encompasses everything, and like we spoke about. Pisces is the most flexible water sign. It's the most intuitive. It can feel everyone's energy, including the world. It's universal energy. Pisces is going to represent the big bodies of water and how water makes up most of the world. Water is everything. And when you think of Pisces, it's everything with Pisces. Pisces can be anyone. Pisces can feel everyone's feelings. They can relate to anyone and everything. Animals, plants, everything. Humans, they are the most flexible water sign. Okay, that's because they deal with the big bodies of water. Okay, they soak into everyone. There's no discrimination when it comes to Pisces. It's all one, one is all. And when you look at the earth, it's mostly made up of water. Our bodies, mostly made up of water. Okay, the current of the water. Remember, we talk about the vibrations, the waves. Think about Pisces. Pisces is a very artistic sign, very creative. Okay, this is why Pisces can be very good at music. People with a lot of Pisces energy can be very blessed with music because they understand the waves, they understand the vibes. Making a hit song that everyone can relate to no matter what country you're on, that is very Pisces energy. This is the vibes of the world. The ocean spreads out from China to North America, everywhere. So it doesn't matter what country you're in, you're always dealing with water. Water encompasses everything, and it influences everything. Again, if the currents change, the whole weather changes. Water is huge. It is our world, and it's everything. This is Pisces energy. Again, Pisces rules Neptune. It's all in one, and one is all, the melting pot. Okay, so again, water is this dominating energy, but it's also very influential. And it represents the vibration of our world. This is why Pisces are so psychic. Okay, because they represent the vibrations of the world, because they represent the big waters, the currents. Okay, this is why a Pisces can make a hit song because they're vibing with, it's the whole world vibing. Okay, we all got a current, we all got something that we go, and you can't fight the current. So when it comes to Pisces, they're such a flexible water sign because they are everything. They can absorb and soak into everything. They see everything, they feel everything, they are everything. Okay, very, very psychic, very intuitive, very open to everyone's energies. When you are everything, it's hard to discriminate and know who you are. This is why Pisces is going to have such a hard time understanding their identity, because they're just soaked into everyone else's, you know. It's that fluid big water. It's the whole vibe. So they just be vibing. But very powerful people. This is why Pisces energy is very psychic, because when your waters are this strong, where you represent the current of the world, you know, you understand everything. Okay, you can predict events of the world because, again, you represent that current. This is psychic ability at its finest. Okay, at its highest. This is why Pisces is the third water sign. It represents that psychic ability, okay, of the world, of being able to tap into the emotional conscious of the whole world, and that is a powerful energy. And Pisces is very imaginative. Okay, so very creative. You know, these waters can run deep, okay, but everywhere at the same time. And this is what makes them so creative, so influential, so psychic. okay, and being able to in tune with everyone in the whole collective consciousness, subconsciousness, which is very impactful. All right. But yes, that is water energy. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Water is such a powerful thing. It cannot be underestimated, because sometimes it is. But just like we need water, just like it makes up most of the world, this is the influence of water and what it is our world. We don't have healing, we don't have nurture, we don't have cleansing, we don't have connectiveness. Think about the world with no water. It would be so dry, we wouldn't be able to connect with each other. Forget families, forget emotional connections, okay? Forget relationships without water. You don't have any real deep connections, okay? Forget healing and cleansing. Forget the soul. Water represents the soul, is the soul. Think about everything without water. It's dried up. It's not fluid. It's stiff. It's robotic. Water brings in the soul. Water brings in the fluidity. Water makes things fluid. Very powerful thing. People underestimate that. Soul energy is life, is true life. Without water, we are just robots. We're dried up. Water brings in life. Water brings in birth. Water is creation. Okay, without water, we can't create. Look at how much fluids and liquid and water you need to create a baby. The womb is liquid. You need that in order to create, in order to nurture. Look how more flexible and smoother you are with water. Water is that. It brings depth too. It brings emotions. It brings true life. And is the true soul and source of our world. So water is powerful. Don't ever underestimate a water sign. Okay? Water signs are very psychic, very intuitive, very gifted. This is why they're almost magical. Like, water signs are magical because of that intuitive energy and the life that water brings. So fire can burn, but it all starts with water. And without water, there is no life. So water signs, you guys are magical. You guys are the psychics of the zodiacs. And you guys are very powerful. Don't let anybody underestimate your powerfulness and your intuition. Okay, that's a gift. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That's water signs. And if you did, you could certainly book a reading with me. I do astronatal chart readings as well as tarot. All you have to do is email me at samastroreadings@gmail.com. That's samastroreadings@gmail.com. And I'll certainly get back to you. And thanks guys for watching. I'll check you guys out on the next video.